Teacher Tips. We're going to start a series on classroom management. Now, perhaps you're dreading going to church this Sunday and teaching. Maybe it's that the kids just never seem to listen. Maybe it's that the classroom always just erupts in chaos and you're dreading that. Maybe it's just that you need to work on classroom management. So for the next several episodes, we'll be covering this. So the first thing to have good classroom management is to have rules. Your students need to know the expectations that you have for them, and then you can enforce those expectations in your classroom. So I'm going to give you 2 things to think about when you're making rules for your classroom. The first thing is keep it short. Your students are probably not going to remember a list of 10 rules, but they'll probably remember a list of 3 or 4 rules. The second thing to think about is keep it simple. You want to have rules that are practical, that they can understand, and that they can remember. So in my classroom, I have 4 rules, and I go over these rules every single week. I do this because after a few weeks, the students can remember the rules themselves, and then I actually have them tell me the rules. That way I know they're clear on my expectation. So here are the 4 rules that I use in my classroom, and this is how I present them every single week. Rule number 1 is listen up. This means no talking when the teacher's talking. And how can somebody show me how we respond if there's just something we need to ask or need to say to Miss Heidi while she's teaching? At this point, the kids will start raising their hands and I'll say, yes, that's correct. This gets the expectation that in order, there's no talking out in my classroom, that they need to raise their hand if there's a real emergency. Rule number 2 is sit down. And usually I get a bit silly with this. I say you've got a nice seat, it's a comfortable seat, it's a cushy seat. Look, there's even a pillow on it. We want you to stay in that seat. Then rule number 3 is keep your hands to yourself. This is a big one. And rule number 4 is do your best. And I usually say, if you do your best to keep all of our rules, we're gonna have a great class. So as you can see, I keep it short, I keep it simple, I give 4 rules, I explain what they mean, I review them so that I know the students know them, and then if there is a breaking of one of those rules, I refer back to the rules. I say, oh Johnny, I see that you're not keeping your hands to yourself, that's one of our rules. So by presenting these rules, the expectation is set. So perhaps if you don't have rules in your classroom, you need to sit down this week and think up a few short, simple rules that you can present in your classroom. If you need a little help, I'm going to have a link to a free download of my 4 rules on a little poster. If you want to use those rules, you can take that, download it, print it out, and hang it up in your classroom and use those rules. So look for that link in the comments or the description below this video. If this has been help to you, I hope that you'll follow our channel and that you'll also share this video with others so they can be helped by it too.